Should I start?
Sure. Good morning, everyone, and thanks for joining today's session on integrating in-house AI models in Power Platform. Today, we have Sumit with us, who is a Microsoft MVP, and he will be taking us through the topic and the important thing that we have to be discussing on this topic. And let's hear from him. Over to you, Sumit.
Thank you so much, Suraj. So sharing my screen. Is my screen visible?
Uh, yes.
Okay. Hey everyone, thank you for having me here. Today I'll be speaking on integrating in-house AI models in Power Platform. At the beginning of the session, I'll be talking a bit about Power Platform since the community is more Azure focused. So might need a little bit of background on what Power Platform is. Apart from that, I will be sharing on what are the in-house models that we have in Power Platform and how we can use it, and also a bit of OpenAI integration in Power Platform. So first of all, introducing myself, I am Sumit Bajracharya. I'm a solution architect in Power Platform. I'm working at Leapfrog. Within Leapfrog, there is a project called Signetic, which is a mass vaccination solution which was developed for mass vaccination solution during COVID time. So basically, what we did was we built a solution where people can book their appointment for COVID vaccination, and then using that solution, when they come for the vaccination, we would be taking information like what vaccination was provided, who provided that vaccination, also schedule an appointment for their second doses. So all these things we did using Signetic, and later on, this platform is now converting into providing different other services like COVID testing, uh, consultation, medical service, different medical services. So I'm working on that, and this is built within Power Platform plus a React-based Node application. Apart from that, to know more about the work I do, to know about the informations that I usually share on my YouTube channel, on my Twitter, LinkedIn, and my website, so you can reach out to me through these platforms. Uh, so So in current business scenarios, there are lots of complex scenarios where we might need AI implementation because a person needs to do lots of manual work. For example, like someone working on the sales, they might have to like collect information of people they meet. They might need to like enter information of different business cards. When they meet people, they take the business card. Probably they may have to maintain an Excel sheet where they enter those information. That kind of implementation can be done easily using AI models in Power Platform. Apart from that, like someone who might be working on finances, they might have different receipts, and they might have to like record those financial information probably into an Excel sheet or probably into a system of their own with their own database. In that case, they have to like manually input everything that is within a receipt by entering those values that are found in that receipt. Again, that takes lots of time. There might be scenarios like there are lots of customer feedback, and we have to like now make an analysis that has the how the customer feedback has been. Is it a positive feedback, it's a negative feedback, or they're kind of neutral feedback? So to have a correct evaluation of how the feedbacking is, probably in that case the AI plays a very vital role, because to scan through each of the feedback and make an analysis of your own would be very much time consuming. So uh, to have an AI model that processes all those information and do it for you, it can be done quickly and easily in Power Platform. So in Power Platform, there is this thing called AI Builder. Within AI Builder, there are different models that we can use, where like some of the models are pre-trained, and in some of the models, we have to provide information to train its data. So these AI models will help in all the use case scenarios that I have just mentioned. It's not part of the core Power Platform by default it's additional services, so it's a premium services that we can have within Power Platform. But it gives lots of flexibility around when you have to do all those when you have to create insight or automated business processes that needs some sort of human like intelligence in it. So this AI builder spans across all the core component of Power Platform. So you can use it within Power BI. You can use in Power Apps. You can use it in Flow, which is called Power Automate these days. Also, you can have an integration with Dynamics 365. Also, these AI capabilities can be used in different data connectors that Power Platform provides, and can be integrated with the Dataverse. So Dataverse is basically the data system within Power Platform, which I'll show in the demo as well. So talking a bit about Power Platform, in these days, Power Platform is basically a low-code platform, and why it's there is because developing business application is very challenging these days, because we have different problems and we have different challenges each and every day, which needs to be addressed as much as sooner as possible within a certain within a certain budget constraint. So and within certain developer resource constraint, as well as meet business expectation to address some of the complex process. In that case, when like let's say we have a problem like let's say an HR have to collect feedback regarding the event that just happened yesterday, and they want to collect feedback within a week. Probably they might use a Microsoft Form or Google Form to collect those feedback. But let's say there are like custom business rules or custom kind of questions that needs to be asked, that some kind of feature that is not available within Microsoft Forms or Google Form, because they are pretty much plain information that we can collect it, though they are like we can add rules there as well. But there are some custom needs on how it needs to be collected. In that case, probably in traditional approach, we would hire a software company and consult with the development team, uh, make them understand the requirement, and then the whole process of developing a business application becomes very elongated, as well as like the budget constraints, as well as the people that needs to be engaged within that process. Almost it will take like 1 to 2 months to even achieve a simple kind of application. But with Power Platform, what it's trying to achieve is it builds the application very quickly, because you have all the tools that are needed there already. So you can input your whatever information that we want to collect. You just need to set up, and you just need to drag and drop those values into your canvas, and your application is just built. So and while doing that, you also get like a good security model. Your data is secured. You can meet different compliances. So this was a very simple example, but in case of Signetic, since we are doing like health related data, which needs to be like which is a very sensitive data, in that case also like security and compliances, everything that we need in terms of how we store data, how we process data is maintained within the Power Platform itself, so we don't have to worry about that. All these things is now done using low code platform called Power Platform. So we have the time is reduced drastically when building the application through Power Platform. We can extend our system of records and simplify our processes. So if we have a data source, we can use that data source across different other processes and implement a good solution for that. Uh, different Also there are like automation facilities through Power Automate, so the chances of errors is reduced drastically. Then there are like line of business applications and business processes that can be improved and consolidated into a single application very easily through low code platform. So Power Apps is basically we use it to build application very quickly and automate business processes and innovate faster in the company. Uh, Also, since it's integrated within Microsoft 365 ecosystem, so integration with Dynamics 365, Office 365, like integration with Azure services is very easy with its because they are like different connectors that are provided, which we can use to connect with all the services that are within Microsoft 365. Usually when we are doing it through other services, like if we are building our custom application, probably we might need to write APIs or consume APIs of different other platform when when we need to do integration. But in Power Platform, the easy part is all those mid layer of connections has been already set up. So all we need to do is probably to put maybe a client ID and client secret, or put a token, and all it does the part of integration very easily through its connectors. So integrating with not just Microsoft services within Microsoft 365, but to connect with data sources that are beyond Microsoft 365 is also done very easily. So like in case of Signetic, like we have different Azure services, Azure functions that we are connected within Power Platform, because there are certain calculations, certain complex parsing that needs to be done, and it's been done easily using Azure services. But then again, like if you need to implement some third-party solutions like Twilio, for example, we use Twilio to send SMSs. So what we are doing, we are using a Twilio connector, and within that Twilio connector, all we are putting is our client ID and client secret, set it up, and the connection is established very quickly. So that can those kind of easy and seamless integration is also given within Power Platform. So Forrester has named Microsoft as a leader in low code development in 2019. So there are like different low code platform right now at the moment, but within that space of low code app development, Platform has been uh, one of the leaders, according to Forrester. So the approach to building application is very unique. What we need to do is we just need to open the canvas. We can uh, we can build application with low or no code in cases when we need certain kind of in cases when we need a certain kind of customization. Probably in that case we do certain kind of coding, but in other cases there is very less or no coding that is there. uh, it also allowed us to connect our data, so the data can be uh, a third party source. Like if we want to connect data from, let's say we want to fetch our information from Twitter, so there is a Twitter connector. We just put that connector in, and that connector will just get fetches uh, all the tweets that we have made. Similarly, let's say we have a SQL server, we have our data there. We just need to establish a connection, and all the things is done easily through that connector. Within the Power Platform itself, as I mentioned before, we have something called Dataverse. So with that Dataverse, we don't even have to like set what is the username or password. It does the connection automatically. Then like we can enrich and extend our data through the different custom data services, AI Builder, which is the main focus of today's session, as well as portals where we can build websites. Then the integration with Dynamics 365, Azure, Power BI, Power Automate, Office 365 services is very done easily. There is a strong enterprise and governance and security. So our security and everything is maintained very carefully, and we don't have to worry about how we manage our security or how we manage our governance. They define those pre-built tools for us, where we can define policies, where we can define who can access data, who cannot, who can do read, or who can do certain kind of uh, manipulation. That privileges can be maintained easily. And there is pro developer extensibility and application lifecycle management. So the let's say if we have certain kind of requirement which cannot be fulfilled through Power Platform, because since it's a no code low code application, so in a very complex scenarios, in that case sometimes there might be like we might feel this is something we cannot do through Power Platform. In that case, we can build things like there we can build components using TypeScript or JavaScript and integrate those components within Power Platform as well. So with so all the common stuff that we can done easily using Power Platform, we can build it. But there might be like out of 100, there might be 10% of requirements that cannot be done through Power Platform. In that case, we can like literally code and put the build components and integrate those components to the Power Platform. Then for deployment and for production releases, we can also set up application lifecycle management so that we have a configuration integration within the development space. So again, we have a rich canvas-based authoring where we can through which we can develop app. Uh, the app can be packaged and distributed easily. Just a GIF file is created. You can deploy those files in other environment or other tenants. Then we can also provide feedback quickly within the app itself. So there are different templates also provided for phone, tablet, and web, and it run across through all the platform, be it iOS or Android. So it can be used in all kind of application spaces. So now, like coming to our main agenda, which is AI Builder. So before going to AI Builder, I'll just quickly uh, show you how the Power Apps space look like. So I'm here at make.powerapps.com, and this is the environment that I've created. So now I'm just trying to build an application. So what I'll do, I click create, and within this, I have options of how I want to start creating app. Do I want to start creating an app through a blank application? Do I want to use Dataverse, which is a database system that is provided within Power Platform? We can use SharePoint, which is provided by Microsoft, which is a part of a service which is of Microsoft Office 365. Or we can use an Excel to start building an app. We can use a SQL data source to create a application, or we can start from, let's say if we have an image of an application, some kind of wireframe, we can start building app from that as well. But let's say we have a proper wireframe developed by a designer in Figma, we can start building from that as well. So I'll just come up with a blank app. So there are like two options, tablet and phone. So I'll just call it demo application and use the tablet mode and start creating. So so people who have used PowerPoint or any Microsoft 360, any Microsoft Office application might be familiar with this screen. It's similar to how PowerPoint is. So if you want to add a component, there is a insert section from which you can add a label, and then you can change those label. So quickly using this drag and drop feature, you can build an application. So I'll demo it more in the later session. So I'll move to my presentation for now. So AI Builder is a service that is given within Power Platform. It's an easy to use system within Power Platform where we have a guided points, and we can use those guided points to develop an application. It's for every skill level. You don't have to necessarily be a developer to use AI Builder. If you just explore it, if you just try to build it, you can do it yourself as well. You don't have to have a special skill of using AI Builder within Power Platform. You can also you can and then this service can be embedded within Power Platform or Dynamics 365, and all the as like in any other Microsoft 365 service, the securities, compliance, and user roles are managed automatically, and we don't need to manage a separate AI infrastructure and complexity. So usually when we are when we are doing an AI implementation, Probably we might need to have a processing unit to process all those training models, or we might have a processing unit to process all those implementation or to get insights from that AI model. But here everything is managed within the within the platform, so we don't have to put an effort into that, because usually when we are doing AI implementation, those resources consume lots of those think consume lots of resources. So in this case, it does not consume anything. It is given within the platform itself. So yeah, so what we can do here is we just need to choose models from uh, the available models, and then we connect it to a data source. We can train the model. Some of the models are pre-trained. Some of the models need additional training, but using the models that are using the models that are present within the AI builder, we can quickly develop an application. So what we need to do, we need to first choose a model. So there are bunch of predefined models that are given within the AI builder. After using that model, we connect to our data. Then we tailor our model. So we customize and we can tweak our model based on what data we feed to it. Then we can train our model and use insight from model in the application. Uh, so the models that we have right now in the AI Builder is first one. I'll go from the app itself. Um, so I'm at make.powerapps.com. So here, uh, when you go to make.powerapps.com and you go to more and you go to AI models, so when you click new model, so you are provided with a bunch of in-house models that we can use. First one is invoice processing. Uh, Here, if we give any kind of invoices, it processes the information within the invoice and extract information like customer address recipient, customer ID, customer name. So these are the samples of invoices where it is fetching those information. So now what I can do is I can upload a new invoice. Um, so I have downloaded some of the samples. So this is the image of the invoice that I'm uploading. So now it's analyzing the information that it needs to collect from this invoice, and it is now extracting information from this invoice. So it's extracting information like billing address. Really a great company is the it's fetching info customer ID, it's fetching customer name, customer invoice ID, customer total, remittance address, subtotal, vendor name, and also it's fetching the line items. So we don't have to do anything. The this invoice model is doing all the things for us automatically. So when building application, we can embed this model within our Power App and then use that app to collect the information and store it in our Dataverse. The next model that we have is so this extract text and photos from PDF. So here, if you see some of the samples, it's fetching information from this document. If you go to it, it's there is a photo from where it's fetching information, and it's fetching from different languages as well. In a handwritten kind of scenario as well, it's kinds of fetching those information. So if you need a system where you just need to click a photo of something and it needs to extract text from it, this model can be very much useful. Again, like here, if I upload my invoice, it's not telling me like part of like it does not categorize my data into different way. Like in the previous model, it was telling me who which company it was, how what the amount it was. But in this case, it's just extracting the text that is present within this within this model. The next one is to extract information from receipt. So I upload a new so here if you see, like there are like bunch of received, and it is extracting these information from the receipt. Here like merchant name, merchant address, merchant phone number, transaction date, transaction time, subtotal. It's extracting automatically. And if you see, like we don't have to train these model, it's a pre-built model. And here again, like if you upload a new so I have I think okay, this is a receipt. So this is the received image that I have stored as a sample just to show how it can be used. I'm just uploading it, and all the analysis is being done automatically through the AI builder. So it's fetching the merchant name, merchant address, merchant phone number, transaction date, etc., and purchase items. So we don't have to do anything. Everything that needs to be done is done automatically through this particular builder. Next off, then if you need to like scan an ID, scan a passport, in that case, this model is very useful where you can extract information from identity documents. So again, like I just upload a sample passport, a specimen passport, and then it will analyze what are the information within this passport. So it's information, it's extracting information like last name, first name, country, date of birth, identity, expiration date, identity number, machine readable zone, nationality, and gender. Going to the next, this is a business card reader. So I'm uploading a new business card reader. In this case, like there is information that is extracted from this business card reader. So I have a sample business card reader here, and it's extracting information from this business card reader. Mm, okay, so it has extracted information like full name, job title, work phone, mobile number, email address, website, address, last name, first name. All right, all these information is extracted automatically. Uh, Next one, this is a custom model. So here we cannot use this model like the way we have used previous models. Here, what we need to do is we have to get here what we need to do is so if you have a custom document, all those business card, all those invoices, they are kind of very generic. So it has pre-trained those generic data into the system. But in case there is a particular kind of document that, let's say, your organization uses, so let's say there is a particular format of invoice that your organization uses. In that case, what you can do is uh, you can pre-train this model by feeding the information of like these are the kinds of papers, these are the kind of invoices that my organization uses. So you have to like upload a couple of images uh, of those models, and then you have to define what are the information that needs to be extracted. For example, there are like two types of information that we can extract here, like the one is structured and another one is unstructured. So structures are basically, there are like fixed layout is there. For example, this is a sales order. There is a fixed layout of like in this section, a sales order number is there. In this section, data is there. Here, the priority shipping is there. Here, the phone numbers lies. In this space, the quantity is defined. In this space, part number is defined. In this space, description is defined. So it's a very structured and it has its own layout. But in unstructured, for example, you might have things like agreement or contract where there is no definite structures or statement of work. In that case, also you can define like what are the information that needs to be extracted. So after this step, next step would be to choose information to extract. So let's say we might be using, let's say we are using a sales order, and we want to extract information like I want to extract recipient name. Oh, I want to extract information like phone number. So now after it's done, we need to add the collection of documents. So let's say I just collect one document. So I just put the invoice that I already have, and it's uploading those information. As you see, like this is not enough. We need to upload at least five similar invoices for it to be trained properly. So it will not work properly because I need to upload at least five. And if I add same information, same document repeatedly, it will scan and it will say that it's a duplicate invoice. So we can have our customized, so it's saying that it's already uploaded. So now, so due to lack of time, I'll not go further. But what happened next is, in the next step in tag document, all we do is we tag where the recipient name is, where the phone number is, and then in the next step it'll start training. So it'll take a couple of time to train the documents, and once it's done, we can use it in our application. So I have done similar thing with another model called object detection, which is okay, which is here. So here I have like pre-trained a model, which I'll just show. So I have pre-trained an object detection model. It's similar to document processing, but instead of specifying that this is my recipient name, this is the recipient name, or this is the let's say this is the email address, this is the phone number. Here in this case, I defined what uh, what object it is from. So in this model that I have already done a couple of work, I am segregating which one is Pepsi and which one is Coke. So I go next. So I've choose common object in the next space. I have already defined that I want to extract Pepsi or Coke to be detected, and then I have add images. So I've added 15 images of Pepsi and Coke. In the next step, what I have done is, if you see, I have this is all the training that I'm doing. I'm tagging this as the Coke. I'm tagging this as Pepsi. So I can tag further, like I can tag this as Coke. I can tag this as Pepsi. Yeah, so similar thing, I can keep on tagging this as Pepsi. So this is the training that I am providing to the AI model, so that when it's being used, it understands which one is Pepsi and which one is Coke. Similarly, it's going to the next stage, and so there are like 15 photos where I have uploaded photos of Coke and Pepsi, and telling that this one is Coke and this one is Pepsi. Again, Coke, Pepsi, I have trained all those 15 images and put the tag telling that it's Coke and Pepsi. So done. So then after tagging, it just give me a summary of what I have done. I have tagged 15 Coke, I have tagged 15 Pepsi, I have 15 images that I have uploaded, and I can start training. So this is already a train model. So what I can do is I can implement it directly into an application. So before going to how we can integrate into Power App, I'll just go to the rest of the model. So where was I? Okay, so I was here in the custom document. So there is something called uh, detect positive, negative, or neutral sentiment in a text. So this is a very useful tool when we need to collect feedback. So let's say I'm collecting feedback regarding the conference that our company did, and it needs to now take all those information, all those feedback, and and generate an insight of where the conference was good or bad. So let's say I put a feedback like it was a nice conference, but I didn't like the place. Let's say the hotel, the food was not good, the floors were not clean. So rather than a person reading all the uh, feedbacks, uh, what can be done is we can use this model and get an analysis of where there has been a negative sentiment among the people regarding the event, or there's a positive influence. Though I said that it was a nice conference, but it says I didn't like hotel, the food was not good, stuff like that. But if I keep on adding information like, but the speakers were great, the participation was also nice, I enjoyed the networking session. So again, like it keeps on, it's now saying it's a mixed feedback that is being getting, because now there's like good stuff is there also, the bad stuff there also. Let's say I just remove the middle section and now analyze it. Again, it's mixed. Let's say I remove this hotel part and analyze it, it should be positive. Yeah, so it's 99% positive because there are like no bad thing about the conference. Similarly, like this can be integrated when within your email. Let's say you receive emails continuously regarding feedbacks, and you need an analysis of where those feedbacks from emails have been really nice or not good. So in that case, this can be used. uh, if we get time, I will demo it how we can use it using Power Apps as well. So then another one, it's for like categorization of feedback. So here it's a document. So if I just put something like you have nice eyes, let's say, so it'll analyze and categorize it as a compliment. So this one can be used to like convert into what category this text falls into. Next one, again, like it takes a statement and extract information like organization, dates, etc. uh, the next one is to extract most relevant words or phrases from the text. So here, like the contoso in is an organization, accord payment is a phrase. So it just extract what are the most prominent phrase that is needs to be extracted from this. So when we have to like uh, long documents, it's extracted what major components of that document and put it here. This one is uh, to understand which language it is. So here, like this is a French language. It's extracting it. Again, this one does the translation. So, hi, I am Sumit. Translate the text, and here it says it's salut. Je suis Sumit is in French. Whichever language that I want translation in. They're like right now there are not too many languages option available, but it helps in translation. Next, so again it gives you the custom categories of what needs to be done. Here we can train the model and we can tell that Surface Pro is a brand. Uh, this is a processor. So it just categorizes whatever information that we have from text. Uh, this one is the object detection that I have shown. So I'll just quickly go with to my Power Apps and how we can use it. So this is the Power App that I just created at the beginning of the session. So here we can have bunch of things like we can have a text label, we can have a form, we can have a gallery. So gallery is basically where we can list whatever data that we have in our system. So I'm clicking gallery. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to show I'm trying to implement a business card reader in this application. So what I'm doing is I'm taking information from a business card and storing it to a table in Dataverse called contact. So I have a table called contact in Microsoft Dataverse. So I'm just selecting that. And here, like, since Gallery list out whatever information that we have in our database. So these are the contacts that are already there in my database. So I'm not liking this layout. So what I can do is I can go to my left panel, change the layout to something like this, and it's just automatically changing the layout. Now, just to give you a bit of a look and feel, I'm putting a header at the top. So I've clicked this rectangle thing over here, expanding it. And then now I just need a form. So I'm clicking this form here. And what this form needs to do is it needs to enter information to the Dataverse. So what I'm doing, I am connecting this form to contact table. So I can just do it from here. So it's connecting my form to contact table. Again, I don't want 3 column layout. I can go my on my right side and make it, let's say, 2 column. Let's say I want to collect information, not full name, but first name and last name. What I can do is I can click on edit field and I can add, so these fields are already added to the Dataverse. I'm just adding to my form. So I want first name, I want last name, I want, let's say, phone number, phone, business phone. I think it's already there. Email is there, so I've just added. So, here, if you see, first name is and last name is showing at the last. So I can just go to my edit and drag and drop. And now if you see the sequence, it's matching automatically. So I want this form to be triggered because when I use this app, it says no item to display because I need a button that triggers this form. So I'm coming here, adding a button and call it, let's say, new contact. So let's say there is a salesperson who meets people meets people frequently, and the person he or she needs to enter the information of people that they meet into a database system like this, and they use this form. So what will they do? They'll collect their business card number and then they'll manually enter information. So let me just put a different color here. So so what will they do? They'll just click new contact. Okay, so new contact is not doing anything because I have to define that when new contact is clicked, this form needs to be triggered. So new form, and this form is form one. So form one. So now click new form, and I'll just add information like John Buscemi, John at, and just some number. Now there's no button to save, so I'll just come here, add a button, and oh sorry, wrong one, button, and let's say save. So now only the coding that I have done is putting up this new form here, and now in this save, what I'll do is I will put save form is a function that saves form. Sorry, submit form is a function that saves form. Name of the form one. So save, and this submits the form, and now it's added to the contact list I have in the Dataverse. So now I need to see whether this John Buscemi that I just created is there in this list or not. So what I'll do, I'll just come to here, put text input. So this text input is now used to search whether this list has the record that I am searching for or not. So I'll just remove this default text. Now here in this gallery, it's showing all the contacts, but I don't want it to show all the contacts. I want to show whatever I search from here, but I don't know the function. Let's say I don't know function, what kind of code that I need to write here so that it filters whatever text input that provides here. So there is another AI feature that we have in Power Platform called ideas, which is inspired from which is based off the GPT 3 that we have in Chat GPT. So here, if I write search uh, contacts where full name is what is this? This is text input one, right? Oh, sorry, where full name is text input one. So I'm just telling what I need to search, and when I click get ideas, it provides me the answer, and I can use this answer. So it says use this expression to do that searching. So in items, their contact, I'm applying it. So the expression is now automatically populated here. So now it's automatically set using the AI powered idea section for gallery. What I can do is now I can search John, and it's searching John, right? So the John that I have added is here. But now this is one of the AI feature. Another one is uh, here in this case, I'm like manually entering information, but I don't want to do that. What I can do, I can go to insert, I can go to my AI builder, I can use a business card reader, and then use this business card reader to read the information from a business card, and then uh, have this information auto populated to these fields. So the name of this business card reader is, I'll copy the name. So the name is business card reader, and I go to my full name. I'm going to its property, and in the default, I'm unlocking it. In the default section, what I'm setting is I want default to be whatever information that I get from business card and put its first name. Similarly, I'll go to the last name. I'll unlock the property and set that on its default property. I want business card readers last name to be populated. And then in the email again, I don't want, I want default to be its email. Similarly, in the business phone, I want its default to be a business phone. So now I have this and I have these couple of fields. So now that click this scan business card and click on this business photo of business card, it's now automatically scanning and populating this information to this form value. And so I don't have to manually enter anything. It's just automatically scanning and it's just filling. Now I save this and it's now inserted to my Dataverse. So the information that I've just collected, Mariana, what I can do, I can come here and search for Mariana Anderson, and it automatically has collected the information and submitted to a Dataverse, so to a database. In the similar approach, we can do same for. So I'm creating a new screen. So in this screen, I'm doing it for business card reader. I can do same for receipt to collect the information of receipt. So again, I go to insert. Here I have receipt processor. And what receipt processor does is similar to business card reader. It scans the information from receipt. So click on scan, click on invoice. Right now I'm using my computer, so I have to like manually upload the photos. But let's say you created a mobile app a mobile power app. In that case, you don't have to like upload photos. You can directly click from cameras and it'll just scan and put it here. So here, the receive processor has collected the information. Now I'm just adding a label. So I want to know the bill to information. Uh, what I can do is I will put the name of this receive processor, receipt, receipt, okay, receive processor and merchant name. So the merchant name is Really Great Company. I want to have line items. So since light item is a list, I will put a gallery and I can fetch the line items that are here from again receive processor one. Click here and there's something called purchase items. So here it's collecting whatever I have purchased. Again, I don't like this layout, so I'll just change it to something like this. So whatever information that is there in as a line item is now collected and put it into gallery. Again, like the way I have used it in business card reader, I can uh, upload this information to any database because now that it's into my app. Similar to that, there is object detector, which I have trained it for Pepsi and Coke. So I can use that object detector as well. Um, so this is my object detector. So here, like I have, is not connected to any model yet. So I need to connect to a model. Um, okay, select a model. And this is the model that I have trained for Pepsi and Coke. So let's search for a Pepsi and Coke image. Let's say Pepsi. Okay, so this is a Pepsi. Let's see if it's able to detect this or not. So I'm just in my uh, don't know if it detects this. Mm, play. Okay, download. So it's detecting that it's Pepsi, right? So this detector has also worked. Again, like similar to Receive processor, if you are using on your phone devices, you can directly use your phone camera and check if it's a Pepsi or not. So similar to these, the sentiment analysis and other stuff that I have shown you before, you can use a Power Automate and integrate that feature into Power Automate and use it as a connection between different applications. So I'm coming to my flows where I can use those sentiment analysis uh, analyze sentiment. So I've already created this one. I'll just quickly show you what I've done. So here, like this is a flow that takes input as whatever information that I sent. It analyzes the positive and negative sentiment in the text. And what I can do is I can then send an email. So I'm using an output connector and I then send an email saying that there is a positive feedback or there's been a negative feedback. So let's say I'll just send it to myself. Sorry. Oops. There is a feedback. So I'll just put the subject and feedback. So overall text sentiment. So I'm putting overall text sentiment as a feedback. And now just let us test. Sorry, just test manually. So here I'm giving the input manually, but we can connect it to other data sources. Like I can use email as a data source where we get an email and then I send an email giving the overall feedback. Hi, let's say let's say I need an analysis of a feedback that was given to the conference that happened. The conference had great speaker. It had great food, but it could be better if the sound audio system were better if better if uh, better system were used. So let's see. So what it's doing is it's using Power Automate, which is similar to Logic Apps, similar or like completely exact to Logic App. So what it's doing is uh, it's taking this input, it's analyzing it, it's saying the probability of the score, which is this 0.7 is negative, 0.92 is positive, and then it's it's giving me the sentiment, and then I get an email. So feedback is positive. So oh, sorry. So based on this input, I'm getting a feedback that it's a positive feedback. So I go to my Outlook. So I just got an email that there is a feedback, and in the in the content, it's saying that feedback is positive, right? So similar implementation in more complex scenarios can also be done. Coming back to my presentation, just few couple of things left. So yeah, like I've mentioned, we can use these for different business scenarios, like for let's say for customer application processing, you can use document processing. For let's say expense reporting, we can use receipt processing. So different business scenarios can be covered using those uh, information. We can do also an OpenAI integration. So if you go to platform.openai.com, we can get a API key and use that key to put it into there is a connector called OpenAI connector. Uh, I cannot demo it because it needs a premium OpenAI subscription. But if you go to connections here and click a new connection, there is an open, yeah. So there is an open AI connector connecting with which we can use features like implementing ChatGPT or implementing DALI in your application as well. So you just need to put those keys, and then after establishing a connector, you can use it in a Power Automate, and then like in this example, so I've just recorded a quick video. In this example, we can integrate to a Power App, and then you can app a chat-based system as well, or you can use it to like collect information and do lots of things like getting information here, like it's saying which is your female favorite animal and why, and as a response it's saying its favorite animal is a horse. And similar, you can integrate to our Power App as well. uh, Again, in the similar context, you can use OpenAI API connector and use it into your application to, let's say, based on whatever information you put it into a text input, you can then get list of capitals, like in this case, or you can get like, sorry, in this case, like it's asking for capitals of European cities. Number is 5. So what it's doing is it's sending this information to uh, OpenAI API, and that it's getting the information like Paris, Berlin, Rome, Madrid, and London as capitals of Europe. Then it's saying famous sites of the city of asterisk, which means that whatever results that we have get it here, I need a list of famous sites here, and this is the list like Eiffel Tower, Notre Dame. Louvre Museum is the list of famous sites that is given. Again, this both of this information is fetched from OpenAI, so you can use in that case. So GPT integration is basically can be used for like if you want to do personalized content recommendation or an intelligent search system to understand information between those queries for like e-commerce and streaming services and grading feedback for educational assessment. So that's it from my side. So if you want to learn more about AI Builder, I can put a link here uh, in the chat, or I can send you those slides and all these information within this slide as well. Sorry, I'll send these links here, and you can learn more about AI builders as well. Thank you so much. If you have any question, please let me know.
Thank you, Sumit, for the session. I think there were a few questions in the chat box.
Okay.
If you can read that, that'd be helpful.
Um. Yeah. Sorry, I didn't saw that. Is it possible to extract data from comment section? If it teams, if it's particular teams, then it's possible. How accurate if we use AI Builder to for crack detection? Uh, Crack as in crack on the wall, like Yoshias. So I have not exactly used the crack detection, but I have seen a sample where they have used like how healthy the leaf is. So in that case, if you use the object detection model and upload bunch of images of the cracks, it would do a good job based on like my experience with leaf detection. Uh, can you share the PPT file? Yes, definitely. Can we I'm not aware about stable diffusion. So you asked about integration, integrating others like stable diffusion. Probably, if there are like APIs uh, available, you can use custom connector where you can connect through that, similar to like API, OpenAI connector. But I need to check. Uh, so Power App is not free, but if you have Office 365, you can use Office 365 and go to make.powerapps.com. So if you have a Microsoft account, probably if you are a student or if you are working in an organization that use Microsoft Teams or Office 365 or Outlook, probably you will be able to access make.powerapps.com. So to try it out, you can use make.powerapps.com from there, but to put apps in production, probably it's not a good idea to use the default services you get it from Office 365. But to try and to play around, you can use the default environment. Yes, we can automate text to extract text from bulk forms. Sure, my contact number is I'll just put it here. So all the information about me, my contact, I'll put my email. That would be easy, I guess. Um, um, so I'm just putting my email, and I'll just put my information in chat. Regarding bulk form processing, there's no limitation unless and until you do the training properly. Yeah, so the custom document processing that I showed you in my demo, you can use that for bulk processing. I'll put my information in the chat. Give me a second. Yes, sorry, there's no limitation, but you need an extra subscription for AI Builder. The AI Builder that I showed in demo is a trial version. You need a subscription for that. Uh,
Yeah, I think there is no more questions that is left to be answered.
I'll put my information in my chat. I'm just
Mhm. Sure.
yeah. And yeah, somebody asked for my phone number, so it's you can take.
I think there was one last question by Raunak, if you can. It's
Uh,
about the message you posted.
which one? Ronak. Someone,
It's
okay.
just about the message, about your message.
I sorry, I didn't saw the message. Uh, can you read it out?
So, is there any alternative to make Power Apps?
Um, there are like some other low code application. I think there are some low code application in Google as well, but I'm not sure. Like I've not used them, but like you can search for low code application and you can find out. They are like Google also provide a bit of low code application, but the as like Forrester mentioned, the Power Apps is the one that is mostly matured and mostly used at the moment. Will this Power App can help in reading details from two different system? So if like you have two different system, that means like you have two different data sources. So you can use Power Apps to extract those information from two different system from two those databases as well. So is Power Apps the same as Figma? No, the Power Apps is not same as Figma. The difference between Power Apps and Figma is just for wireframing, so you cannot actually build application with Figma. In Figma, you can build how the application look likes, but in Power Apps, what you can do is you can build an exact application. So you can create data, you can edit data, you can modify data, you can do bunch of things with Power Apps, but Figma is just for wireframing. But if you have like a wireframe that is developed in Figma, you can you can directly convert into a application using Power Apps as well. Uh, so I guess this is it, Suraj.
Yes, I think there is
Yeah,
no more questions. I think we can wind up the day. And thank you again, Sumit, for the wonderful session. It was really helpful and resourceful. And please do share me the presentation so that I can share it with the attendees.
sure.
And thank you all for joining with us for the session. And looking forward to having you in the upcoming sessions as well. And if you haven't filled out the attendance form, please do make sure you fill it. I have shared it in the chat box, and there are a few links that you can learn more about AI Builder and using it in Power Apps in the chat box. And thank you again, Sumit, for being in the session, and have a great rest of the day.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. Have a great day, everyone. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye.